everyone, this is Zcash to the US 4-hour chart, and we have had a nice bullish move out of the range we were trading in, which had been, if you include this dip here at the beginning of June, the range has been broadly between 246 and essentially 589, but the real trading range has kind of been just 378 up to around that 557 area. So quite a broad range in terms of volatility, but this is essentially where we've been trading since June. And now we've had a nice breakout thanks to this higher high here, allowing buyers to look at these lower levels, these higher lows as potential entry points. And now we've broken above and put in a fresh higher high, beating all of these rallies from November 25 and this one at the beginning of this year. And there's a lot of people, of course, saying that this asset is super undervalued anyway. So that's the context. So people are looking at this asset now for a potential entry because there's obviously a limited amount of tokens which are moving in this bear market. And what you'll see is the bullish assets of the last few months, the ones which have been managing to stay buoyant in bearish conditions, with a lot of macroeconomic headwinds, what we're going to see is a lot of people looking to trade these now as Bitcoin has started to give some bullish signals, even though it's only just one, and they'll be looking for entrances, which is an opportunity we can capitalize on, but we still need to position ourselves properly. So textbook, what do we got? A potential bull flag. Now, do we have the market conditions to trade such a continuation pattern? We've had a massive move. We're very elevated. You have to presume this is the beginning of distribution where we're going to roll over. That doesn't mean that's going to happen. And you can see there's obviously order blocks now up here, very elevated. But the RSI is suggesting we could have another leg up from here. So you do have a bullish situation, but is this the right conditions? No. Bitcoin is not going gangbusters. It's not super bullish. And therefore a break from here is extremely high risk. And you run the risk of just breaking out from here, giving people who entered in this pattern an opportunity to take profits and then potentially rolling over. Now, we may see a higher high, we may see a move up from here, but it's not very manageable with the current conditions because if Bitcoin takes a tumble, so will the rest of the market, and fast. Therefore, where's the obvious place to come back from? Well, talking of textbook, we've had a breakout of this range here, of this level here, around 556. It's a little bit ambiguous, so we could say, here we go. There it is. There's your range. 582 on the top, made up of this swing high from the 15th of June, and about 558, 555 on the bottom. And having come back up to the 300% fib level here, topping out around 880, where are we going to retrace to? Well, we have, of course, previous resistance here at 716. So that is the first line in the sand for a potential entry. And there's an order block there. And as we said at the start, it's very bullish that people are looking for that opportunity. But the smart money may not want to put their capital out on a limb at present until we see more from the market or a secondary move from Zcash. And of course, you only want to be changing your approach to Zcash if we see another swing high now above this 890 level, which would then shore up this lower level around 713, previous resistance. But that is not really the current market conditioning. So we have ultimately 625 below us, which is a more reasonable entrance, along with these two sub-levels at 584 and 556. So this is the zone now you want to be looking at for Zcash for an entrance. So if you're super bullish on Zcash and you think that we're just going to have a pretty straightforward retrace back down to here, which would be about 60-70%, that's your first entrance at 624. Your second potential entrance, a more balanced entry in terms of manageability and risk, is 585. And then for the super cautious, which really wants to be able to reposition if it goes the wrong way, you've got 556. And if you can't decide, you could, of course, have a scaling in strategy. Jump in here at 622 with 20% your position, add another 30% at 583. And as we start to bottom at this level, potentially add some more at 556. So you're essentially scooping up the price action like this. And then you've got a new trading range to trade in, and you're coming in at the bottom as well, which is more manageable as opposed to other people which may be looking to trade this upper range here, which of course has significant risk. But that's the approach you should be taking to Zcash over the next couple of weeks. But that's it.